Before we begin, slow down for a moment. Unclench your jaw. Relax your shoulders. Grab a coffee, tea, or water, something simple, and just listen. If you enjoy these long, careful explorations into how the mind quietly misleads itself while believing it's perfectly rational, take a moment at some point to like this video, leave a comment, and share it with someone who enjoys thinking a little too deeply. Now, you are paying attention right now. At least it feels like you are. You feel focused, present, aware. But here's the uncomfortable truth. Attention is not what you think it is. You don't control it nearly as much as you believe, and most of what you think you notice never actually enters your mind. Let's start with a basic illusion. Look around the room you're in. You feel like you can see everything. Walls, objects, colors, movement. But you can't. Your detailed vision exists only in a tiny region at the center of your visual field, called the fovea. Everything outside that region is low resolution, blurry, and incomplete. You don't notice this because your brain fills in the gaps. It creates the feeling of a complete visual world, which means attention doesn't expand perception, it hides its limits. Now consider this. When you move your eyes, your vision briefly shuts off, literally. Your brain suppresses visual input during eye movements so you don't see the world smear. This is called saccadic suppression. You are blind multiple times per second. You just never notice, because attention edits reality to feel continuous. Now think about this famous experiment. People are asked to watch a video of two teams passing a basketball and count the passes. Midway through, a person in a gorilla suit walks across the screen. Many viewers never see it, not because the gorilla is subtle, but because attention is selective. When attention is focused, awareness narrows. This is called inattentional blindness, and it's not rare, it's constant. Now pause. If you can miss a gorilla, what else are you missing? The answer is most things. Your brain receives vastly more information than it can process consciously, so it filters, aggressively. And that filtering is driven by goals, expectations, emotions, and habits, which means attention is not neutral, it is biased. Now let's talk about control. You feel like you decide what to focus on. Sometimes that's true, but often attention is captured automatically by novelty, by motion, by threat, by contrast, by emotion. This is why notifications work. Bright colors, sounds, movement. They hijacked attentional circuits that evolved to detect danger and opportunity. Your attention is not broken, it's ancient. Now think about multitasking. People believe they can do multiple things at once. They can't. What they're doing is task switching, rapidly, and every switch carries a cost. Attention resets, context is rebuilt, errors increase, which means multitasking doesn't save time, it consumes it. But it feels productive, because attention creates the illusion of engagement. Now consider boredom. Boredom is not the absence of stimulation, it's the absence of meaningful attention. You can be surrounded by information and still bored, because attention isn't about input quantity, it's about relevance. Now let's talk about memory. Attention determines what gets remembered. If you don't attend to something, it rarely enters long-term memory, which means memory loss is often attention failure, not storage failure. This is why people forget names immediately. They never fully attended. Now think about emotional attention. Emotion sharpens attention. This is why emotionally charged events feel vivid, but this sharpness comes at a cost. Emotion narrows focus, which means details outside the emotional core are lost. This is why intense experiences feel memorable but incomplete. Attention zooms in, the rest disappears. Now consider anxiety. Anxiety hijacks attention toward threat. Neutral information fades, which means anxious minds live in distorted realities, not because threats are everywhere, but because attention is biased. Now let's talk about habits again. Habits run without attention. This is efficient, but dangerous, because unattended actions are invisible to awareness. You drive somewhere and don't remember the drive. You scroll and lose time. Attention was elsewhere. Now pause. If attention determines experience, then what you attend to is your life, not metaphorically, literally. Two people in the same environment attending to different things live in different worlds. Now consider social media. Algorithms compete for attention, not truth, not meaning, attention, which means they optimize for emotional capture, outrage, fear, validation. This shapes what you see, which shapes what you attend to, which shapes what you remember, which shapes how you act. Attention is the bottleneck of the mind. Control it, and you influence everything downstream. Now here's the unsettling part. You don't fully choose what captures your attention. Your brain prioritizes based on prediction, what it expects to matter, which is shaped by past attention. This creates feedback loops. Attend to outrage, expect outrage, notice outrage. Attend to calm, expect calm, notice calm. Attention trains itself. Now think about expertise. Experts notice things novices miss, not because their eyes are better, but because their attention is trained. They know what to look for, which means attention is learnable. Now let's talk about mindfulness. Mindfulness doesn't empty the mind. It retrains attention. It weakens automatic capture, strengthens deliberate focus, which increases resolution. Moments feel richer, longer, because attention is sustained. Now consider time perception again. Attention stretches time. Distraction compresses it, which means attention doesn't just shape experience, it shapes your sense of life's length. Now here's a crucial insight. Attention is not a spotlight, it's a filter. It determines what becomes real to you, which means protecting attention is protecting reality. Now think about fatigue. When tired, attentional control weakens, distractions increase, errors increase, which means many mistakes aren't moral or intellectual failures, they're attentional ones. Now let's talk about meaning. Meaning emerges where attention rests. If you never attend deeply to anything, life feels shallow, not because it is, but because attention never lingers long enough. Now let's end with something practical. You cannot attend to everything. Trying to do so is a recipe for exhaustion, but you can choose what deserves your attention by shaping environments, reducing noise, creating friction for distractions, and space for focus. Because attention is not infinite, and where it goes, your life follows. If this changed how you think about attention, take a moment to like the video, leave a comment, and share it with someone who enjoys thinking a little too deeply. Because the most powerful thing you can do is decide what you notice.